Good morning, folks. So today I decided we're going to do the farm, and I think we're going to do it in somewhat of a big way. So we're going to be looking at getting automated harvesting for sure, and I'm thinking automated planting as well. So in order to do that, we're going to have to move the fence out of the way and just kind of give us a bit of space, because what I'm feeling, I want to build a harvester. If you've seen on one of my little clips from my other survival world, I built kind of like a little harvester, just trundled along after it was censored that the plants had grown, and it just zoom in and it harvests stuff. That's all well and cool, but I want to make something that will also plant in this world. So I'm feeling we can do that today. We keep it short and sweet. We'll let us run it on pistons, and also I'm guessing we'll probably come from this direction, maybe not. No, we've got plenty of room because that's suspended. That enables us to come this way. But it'll also give us a bit of room to just widen things up. So, first things first, lay some wood down. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to run it on wheels so that it kind of runs nice and easy. So we're going to use this as kind of like a little bit of a runner, so that the wheel will run on the outside edge of it, both sides, and it will just kind of blump, 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 and do its do. Then we're going to need at least, should we go for at least 4 vacuum pumps? Reason being, we're going to have 1 to harvest, because 1 vacuum pump can harvest a 3x3 section. And then of course we're going to need 3 to plant. I don't know if we've got the electronics for this. So we'll just zoom over and we'll do that straight away. Hopefully we can run the 3 planters off of 1 chest. We might even be able to run them all off of 1 chest. I'm not too sure how that all works. So vacuum pumps. We are not going to be able to do it. We'll get 3, and we're short of electronics, so that'll give me something to mine for during the night, when the night rolls around. I got some wheels spare, probably going to need all 4. Little update, I've put some chunky wheels on it, I've grown them up a bit, I've made a little pivot bearing here, so we've got a little bit of ups and downs. I've also upgraded-ish a little mining vehicle itself. Now it looks like a little mini tractor. I made the trailer a little bit longer and like a block wider in left and right, so it's just a little bit bigger all round, just a little bit more capable. I think it gets around a little bit easier, and it still does what I need it to do. So while these are doing that, let's go over here, and I guess we've got to kind of work out this design, what we're going to be doing. So originally what I was thinking was if I could have it in such a way that it could trundle down one way and then have like vacuum pumps on bearings so that they could spin round, so that the planting pump could be in front of the harvesting pump. I thought that might be awesome. But then I just simply thought, well, why not just have the pistons able just to push it further? So the vacuum pump will go first, so it will harvest, and then it'll like literally be followed by the plant. It'll be like harvesting as it plants. I'm not entirely sure how to set that up, but we'll see how it goes. It won't be too drastic, hopefully. Hopefully, anyway. So we'll come out here and we'll come out here. So that's our length. That's not too bad. Yeah, that'll put a wheel on each side. Do I have any bearings on me? I do not have any bearings on me. It's a shame. Luckily, a wheel spacing is a block, so they're going to be a while. Let's nick some scrap metal from the chest. We'll get 2 bearings from this little boy out here. While that's doing that, what else are we going to need? We're going to need some way of activating it, so maybe just a button for now. Then we don't have to worry too much about everything kind of colliding with each other and sensors going a bit crazy. But we are potentially going to need a sensor to activate the vacuum pump itself. How much is pistons? This is going to get very costly in electronics. I might have to plant to kind of force a raid, so that we can get some greenies come in, just so that we can actually get something to get us some electronics. We'll see how we get on in the night time when it comes around. So we'll just trundle over here. We'll put our bearings on the side. And we'll go bearing there, wheel there, and then a wheel here. So I'm thinking... We have, how many vacuum pumps have we got? We've got 2, so we can definitely harvest. That's not a problem. And in fact, we can put our harvest vacuum pump this way, because that'll still harvest a 3x3 square. Is there a middle? There's no real middle as such, which is quite annoying. So that'll harvest that lot. Because don't forget, this is going to sit quite low. It's going to be like this low. So that'll harvest all those. That's easy enough. And then we just need a planter. And that won't work because of where that guy sits there. I want to try and keep this compact. I don't like big chunky things, so I want to try and keep this as compact as I can possibly make it. So maybe we will look at planting first. Being as we've got 3, if we look at planting first and then we can look at harvesting later, because harvesting's not exactly the most difficult thing. I've gone for a gamble, so we're going to get us pistons set up. So if I go for planting first, I've got to think about how we're actually going to be able to harvest. That's the only... not issue as such, but that's the only thing that we've got to keep in mind. By plant, I'm guessing I'm going to want to kind of plant behind, and then the harvest one can be built somewhere up the front. That going to work if that one goes there? I guess so. Well, that's just awkward. How am I gonna do this so that I can get the vacuum pump on? I'm just gonna have to give this a bit of a lift for now. Just so I can get that 3rd vacuum pump on. These are gonna come off, don't worry. But basically, yeah, I just needed to do that so I've got some room. This is a really awkward length. There's no... So if I move that one in, we've got 3 in a row. What happens then? How do they line up against the soil? That might be alright. So that'll kind of be something like that. So that'll just trundle out and it'll vacuum pump everything. I do want to rotate the pumps around though, so we can actually see what we're looking at. Come on. Come on. That way there'll be an arrow displayed here and here, and the 3rd one as well. So we can actually see it. There we go. And that's pretty important because we need to know which direction they're facing. Then I could probably, hopefully, run that off of one chest. That's going to be a lot of pipe work though. As if the vacuum pipes need electronics. Everything needs electronics and we don't have any. Okay, so I am going to go and induce a raid tonight so that we're going to have electronics. This is a bit of a letdown. I was hoping to be somewhat prepared and it turns out we were not. Interesting. Hey, there we go. Right, so at least we've got the farming detection. So then we're going to look at just squaring this off a little bit. That'll be like that. We'll have a bit of a mechanism for the piston that can move forward ever so slightly one. Can it? Do we want it to move forward one? Oh, I think it's all right there. Yeah, it'll be all right there, won't it? So we'll come back so that we can enable us to get the piston on. And then it's got to come up one. So there and there. Probably put the piston in the middle, let's be honest. Is there a middle? Not really. So we'll put the piston on there. So that sits there. So you see how it sits nicely on the blocks? And then we somehow get a button to activate the piston and that'll just drive that out. And then we'll have some way to do something with a sensor to activate the vacuum pump. But luckily it is getting darker. So that means that the raid will come in tonight and I can go and get some electronics. And you guys don't have to watch anything slowly taken off. Ah, I can't even afford a button. Okay, right. I'll catch you guys in the morning. I'm going to go hunting for electronics. See you in a bit. Morning! how do I explain this? All of my hard work in terms of trying to find somewhere to farm resources, strangely enough, turned out not to be worth anything. The electronics drops were very, very slim to none, which genuinely has surprised me, because electronics drops are the one thing that people just can't get away from. So that's always interesting and slightly confusing. So we don't actually have an awful lot of electronics. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to move all that lot further forwards. Yeah, we did get something that enabled me to buy a button, but realistically, I didn't get an awful lot to do an awful lot more with, which is going to be an interesting one. So we'll have to see how we get and where we get to so far. There we go. So we hook up these two pistons. What's the range on these bad boys? Both are 7, so let's get to 14. We might be able to plant there, we might not. So if I'm going to put a sensor on the outside, I guess, so that it can sense when it goes near a block, that might be alright. Then we can kind of block that wheel in, like so. And then we're going to go, okay, so we want it to plant. It's pretty much in line. So if we want it to plant when it gets that one activated, and then that one activated, so it's 2 spaces between them, and that one, and that one, and that one. Will it get the last one? I don't think it will reach, will it? No, it won't. I also don't know if it can plant at that speed. In which case, we're probably going to need a controller to slow this down, because this is as slow as it can go. Unless we do a double button system where it goes one first and the other. I'll go grab us a chest anyway. I'll make us a chest and then grab a sensor, and then we'll see if we can get that to work. I'm not entirely sure if it will. In all honesty, I really don't know where it's going to go. In the harvesting that we attempted to do overnight of components and electronics and everything else, somehow I found so many component kits. It's almost like the game's trolling me now, where it's just dropping me so much of, yeah, component kits everybody needs, don't get me wrong, but right now it's not what I'm in need of. So I think the game's just kind of having a laugh with me, making me pay for something, crime I didn't commit. While I think about it as well, I also want to be able to have it fertilized. Now I might have the fertilizer on kind of a suspended thing. Likewise, I might have to lift up these pumps a bit, because they are a bit, well, they're a bit low down, aren't they, really? They're kind of right on top of the soil. I don't know what sort of impact that'll have when it comes to planting, but we can only find out. Ah, man, even the sensors to electronic component thingies. We really don't have this many. We need that in order to get it working, basics. So we're going to have not a lot of anything. This is crazy. I really underestimated how many electronics was going to be needed for this. I'm a little bit disappointed. I thought I was ready and prepared. Apparently not. Okay, so that's going to be interesting. Chest's pretty big. They are pretty big. So he's going to squirt down. Julio, that's what we want. Yeah, okay. We'll throw in some carrots. Yes, we want you to face down, and we'll go get the sensor. We'll hook up the sensor. We'll just give it a try, because ultimately it will try and, if it does work, it will try and plant in the same place that there's already a tomato plant, which I don't mind. We've got early days. We've still got not plenty of seeds to waste, but as long as you've got one seed, you able to plant it and grow it, you'll always get more seeds. So right now we've got enough to kind of play with. So what we're saying is activate this, but it's got to be a range of 2 looking at that. So range of 2, okay. It's too fast. Too fast, but it does work for us, because it gets half on the way in and half on the way out. So I can live with that. So far, so good. It's a little bit rustic, a little bit out there, but it works. Ooh. Does the water still reach what it needs to reach? We have managed to water everything. So I tweaked the degrees. If you remember, I had it running at like 15 and 15. I put it at 15 and 10. So yeah, that seemed to make a difference because we're now watering everything. If you remember, we kind of missed one, although it does look like it's not as watered. But that's cool. And planting works. We need to get our sort of fencing back as well. So let's bring it out a bit. Let's bring it out here. How far forwards does this go? This is going to plant again, isn't it? Or try to. Okay, so that's pretty good. Want to bring it out this far. If it's 4 high, it should stop haybots. That's the theory. Hang on a minute. Just had an idea. I mean, I haven't got enough vacuum pumps to do everything that I want to do right now. But I could hook that middle one up to that chest. I bet it won't take 190 either. I bet it'll be a 90 in a straight. It'll be a bend in a straight, won't it? And I don't have the electronics for that. I don't think, anyway. If I do have the electronics, I'll do it. But only if I've got enough for both. I do not have enough for both. We could take a gamble. You know what? No. I'm not going to. What we've got works. It does work. It's a little bit janky, but it works. We'll just throw our kind of defences up. By defence, I literally mean a wall made out of blocks. And then again, we'll wait for the raid to come in at night, because it should be a level 2, even if it is just a few crops. It'll be a level 2, so that will help us get a little bit more electronics. And we'll see where we're at the next day in terms of electronics. I could get some component kits and upgrade the pistons, or at least one of the pistons, and that'll get us right to the end of the farm as it currently stands. So that's kind of like what we're looking at. It's a little bit, it's short stuff, you know what I mean? It works, it plants. That's all it does at the minute. It only plants on one row. I mean, can move this chest across, can't I, manually? Which we can do. And then I can fill that up with some seeds. Put some tomato seeds in. In fact, we can do that. And then if we trot around to the button, flick the button. It's just shy. Let's get this as 4. Okay, cool. And then do that one. Less than ideal right now, but we'll get this. How much is it to upgrade? It's 2 to upgrade. Well, I've got plenty of component kits. I can manage that upgrade easy enough. We'll have some sort of wall barrier thing now. So that when the raid comes tonight, I can just chill on the inside. It will take us a few component kits out. We'll upgrade a piston. Then that'll be able to push us all the way to the current end of the row that we have with our farm. Eee. And the sun is finally setting again. Look at the beautiful sky. And yeah, we'll be ready for the raid when it comes. So I'll catch you guys in the morning. In the meantime, I'll go see if I can find some more electronics. Because this isn't fun. So we had another unsuccessful night. Unfortunately, we got a few more electronics, but again, not an awful lot. And I tried raiding various different things. But I also had an idea. Okay, so what do we need? I was on about getting a controller for this so we could slow the pistons down. I do have a controller up here. What we've got to do is connect this wooden set with this wooden set, and we'll be able to use that controller for these pistons, even if we do have to kind of run everything off of one button, which won't be so bad because we can segment it. I'll have to have a look, see how much to upgrade the controller. But component kits is one thing that I do have plenty of. And there we go, job's good. That's all we needed to do. So now, if we link these up here, so that is number 3 and number 4. We want them to fully extend, but we want everything to do it slowly. That's the only thing, it is going to be slow. So we have the water system do its due. and then it should return. And then if we send that all out and we go slow, and if we disconnect that button and put it all on this button, we can get this button back. Okay. What are we looking at? We've got 10 in there. Awesome. So I want to give this a trial run, but obviously this stuff's still growing. We do have a bit of fertilizer. I don't know how much of an impact this will have now. I only want to hurry that line up, really, so that we can get on with it. Bring the guidelines along one more. Yeah, I extended, but the water doesn't actually extend any further, unfortunately. I've upgraded that piston. It's fully. But it's too short. It only comes out this far. It only gets this set, so... It only gets 5 sets before you need another piston, which isn't the worst thing in the world. Right now, I've got other things on my mind. I just want to kind of get this all set up and running. But I'm going to get another chest, I think. Not yet. So we'll let these fully harvest, okay, and then we'll have a look, see how this works, all off of the one system, all off the one button. So when these harvest, we take it from the middle one. Ooh, check me. If we take it from the middle one should reach a kind of a 3x3 area, so that will harvest that. It's less than ideal in terms of planting right now, but we'll see where it gets to with the water, at least. And then we'll be able to kind of go from there, I guess. So we'll wait for it to all plant up, and then we'll be back. So that took a little bit longer than I expected it to. So basically I went for a hunt, and we managed to get a few more electronic component PC party thingies. But I just wanted to see how this works. So we're going to be harvesting, and the water's going to go first, I think. But that doesn't matter. It's just more of a trial and error kind of thing. Just short on that. So I was thinking I could speed up the watering, but if I speed up the watering, then I'll also speed up this harvester, planter, grower machinery thingy. And that'll be very bad, because obviously we don't want that to happen. We need this to be kind of slow, so we might end up splitting these up. But for now, it's just off of one system. So this should trundle down, and it should... Yes. So that's pretty cool. That works. That works. But then also, if we have these come back, that's awesome. Right. So then, as you may or may not notice, I am carrying around me. We can switch them around. This is going to plant tomatoes. Yes, I don't have this one yet, but... just for the 2, so it should work in reverse, so it should plant first. That's slightly annoying. That is slightly annoying. Why does it do that? Whereas before it managed to get every other one. How about then if we do one piston first, then the other. So that's there, and then both to 0, sort of like that. I thought this would work. I thought it'd be a lot slower because it's on the controller, but it doesn't seem to be. Which is kind of sucky. What's the controller speed though? Controller speed is on the slowest that it can go. So that's a bit screwy. Okay, so we do have to run each controller, each piston out one at a time. But that does it. That works. That's slow enough. So that is awesome. So we can plant. Now it's just a case of harvesting. And if I can work out how to harvest, we are laughing. Okay, so we'll leave it at that for now. Unfortunately, it didn't get what I wanted sorted. But hopefully, by next episode, for you guys to come back to, I will have some sort of planter and harvester and watering system set up. And it won't be too dissimilar to what we currently have. It will just have a little bit of addition here and there. And hopefully I'll have a full stocked warehouse, if you like, so that we don't have to keep hunting for stuff in the middle of the night. I appreciate it. It's been a bit of a disjointed episode, and we're kind of where we're at, but as is fast becoming of me, I know what I want to do, it's just I fall short of doing it. So it does take a little bit longer than expected, but, you know, in all fairness, it's the first time I've actually had an automatic planter. I usually do it manually. I will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. So I just want to say that I did probably another day's worth of in-game time on this machine. And this is what I finally came up with. So we didn't actually leave that episode empty-handed. We kind of took what we did and we were able to throw a few more electronics in, and we got a system. So front harvests puts us into this chest, and the back is a disconnected chest, but this is where we put our seeds. It runs through these three, and these three are activated off this sensor, and the harvesting pump is activated off this sensor. And they're all activated on a button, so we push it. And it harvests and it plants at the same time. That's pretty cool. It still plants on the way back. I'll have to have a look at getting a sensor or something in to stop that from happening. That's when it starts getting really complicated, because we're going to be talking about logic and all sorts of stuff as well. But I just thought you guys might appreciate the fact that we actually did achieve something in that video. So yes, we got there. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again in the next episode. Bye for now. Bye guys.